ladies and gentlemen, is the all-new Audi Q5. Sorry. Let's do that again. This is the 2021 Audi Q5 Facelift. I am Ramesh Somani. You're watching TopGear India. Intros out of the way. Now, what is a facelift? If that's what you're thinking, not. Facelifts are model launches where the engine, the chassis, pretty much the heart and soul of the car does not change. What does get an overall is the electronics, the seating, and tire profile, the design, and pretty much whatever else the manufacturer fancies. Now, the question is that should you be excited for a car which was once the world's most popular mid-sized luxury SUV car when it gets an overall? Now, the question also is that have you subscribed to the channel yet and pressed the bell icon? The answer for both perhaps is yes. Now, let's dig further. The first thing which pops out are these prominent body lines flowing all across from the headlamps all the way wrapping around the back of the vehicle. With this new bumper design, the Q5 has grown 90 mm in length. Many styling cues have been induced down from the flagship Q8 onto this, with the front boasting a rather broad and sharper grille with blacked out accents. The revised bumper also gets this black, nicely cut angular element inserts which house the projector, fog lamps and a black lower lip. The headlamp unit now gets more sleeker with segmented LED lights which matches the matrix lights of the A6 and the A8. Why change something which is good? And this midlife update is what Audi has brought on the ring until 2026, when the second generation of Q5 is phased out. And it's already up against GLC, the Mercedes GLC, Land Rover Discovery Sport, BMW X3 and the upcoming XC60 for that matter. For the time being, let's forget about this facelift nonsense and look at the Audi Q5 as a car which you can drive home, park in your garage and not regret it for the next decade. And for that, I've picked up 19 features which are new, practical, at the same time, timeless. It has 19 Bang & Olufsen speakers with 16 channels and 755 watts. So basically, it's a moving DJ cockpit. Then you have the 10.1-inch touchscreen, which is, I think, the perfect size to have on your dashboard. You don't want something too big, too light, and it's pretty intuitive. We'll get to that in a bit. Now, there's a lot of things happening here. There are these cubby holes here, which can be impractical, but let me show you the practicality. This, if you have a smartphone which is foldable like this, then this makes sense, because if you're planning to keep your smartphone here, then it won't fit. Then of course there's this, which could be your wallet holder and a smartphone holder together. Audi phone box with wireless charging, and it can also slide in and slide out. Panoramic sunroof, aluminum roof rails, adaptive dampers which will basically automatically respond to the road condition and give you a comfortable ride. Now let's take the Q5 for a spin. It's the same car, but nevertheless. You also get a comfort key. Basically, you don't have to really unlock it. You just go into the car. Did I mention that you also get a virtual cockpit, which definitely qualifies as another feature? Let me show you. And you can also make changes to the settings by going by this. For example, right now I can configure this to sport. Yes, change now, and you can see very simple. Remember dynamic, yes, change now, and in this you can again configure. So supposing if you want to show the average speed, it will show average speed, it will show driving time, whatever you choose, It also has this one push seat adjustment which makes the boot accessible, also very big. Now talking about the second row, there is plenty of leg room, plenty of headroom. The panoramic sunroof actually makes it even a good place to be sitting in. For the third passenger, it's going to be very squeezed because of the transmission tunnel. There is also a window shade, which is manual, not electronic. It's a luxury SUV. Yeah, it should have been electronic. Now, there are these two little hooks here, which is the coat hanger. And that definitely qualifies as one feature because this is something which really comes very handy. Then you have this net here, where you can keep your magazines. There's this 12-volt socket here, and this, of course, this piano black makes the cabin very premium. So the biggest upgrade from the earlier generation of Q5 is the technology and the new EMS system. It packs in almost all features that you need for your daily living, but I feel that it really lags a few seconds before it actually throws in the output that you have actually asked for. Now it has the inbuilt navigation, which you'll not use. You'll be using your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so even the icons are quite big, bold for your driving. It doesn't distract you, and it's quite intuitive, so you can just press whatever you want to do it, and it, without distracting you, gets the job done. In that sense, Audi has done this very smartly. When it comes to driving, the Audi Q5 has always been a great car to drive, very planted. Of course, it has the drive select mode that you can choose from: auto, off-road, efficiency, dynamic. It's very comfortable and easy to drive. You don't really need to give this to a chauffeur. You would like to drive it yourself. The steering is chunky, at the same time very responsive. It really, at one touch, it is very agile. Also on the corners, it was good back then, it is good now. So with driving, there is no changes, and because of the adaptive dampers, it really soaks in a lot of bumps that goes through at us. Right now, as you can see, it gives you that pliant ride quality that you expect from a luxury SUV. Now, one feature that to note is that it does 0 to 100 in 6.3 seconds, which is apparently claimed and apparently segment best. We had no position to test that, so we won't even attempt that, but that's something good to know, that you are behind a set of wheels which is SUV and also quite fast. And of course, it has the same 2-liter TFSI engine which produces 249 horsepower and 370 Newton of torque, which is quite adequate and quite competitive in the segment that it competes in. And of course, it comes with a Quattro badge. This engine has been there for some time. It's tried, tested, very refined. So in that sense, it can also qualify as a feature which you can live with until 2026 with no regrets actually. And the 19th feature is the 19-inch tire rim. Yes, unlike the Beamers, the tire profile is very thick, which is more suited to the Indian driving condition. And with that, it's a wrap of the 19 features of the facelift Audi Q5. Whether this will sit pretty in your garage until 2027 when the new generation comes, I'll leave that to decide. But I don't like a couple of things. It doesn't come with the ventilated seats, which is like must there in all the competition, including the XC60. It has too many panel gaps. The design language is very good. Of course, it borrows its design language from the Q8, which is quite good. And it's an Audi. It's a typical Audi. Don't forget, this was once the most popular mid-size luxury SUV in the world. Yes, in the world. Whether it has features, yes, it packs in pretty much all the features that you need for day-to-day living, for a very comfortable living, in terms of technology, in terms of all the seats. The second row is good for 2 adults. I also don't like that it doesn't have an under-thigh support, which I think would have made the proposition even more better. But we have to wait until November when the price is announced. That's when the tables turn. Until then, you take care, stay safe, and do drop in the comments what feature you like and what feature you think is missing.